Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you find yourself around the globe. This is Kingdom Economic Forum. We don't take your time for granted. We are always excited to come your way. Like I did mention to you last week, today I want us to look at agribusiness. Agribusiness. There are so many things that is happening in our nation, and we think that as Kingdom Economic Forum, we need to add our voice. Let me make this emphatic statement. If we leave our agriculture sector to politicians, a time will come we will import whatever we are eating. I just want to make it again, because we have become so polarized in our party politics. Even it's affecting the policy as far as agriculture is concerned. I'm saying this based on my experience. Let me mention that I've worked within the Ministry of Food and Agriculture over the past, I was there for almost 18 years. So I know inside out, I know whatever is happening. I can tell you, for the past 3 years that I've stayed out of the ministry, I still know whatever is going on. The way and manner we are allowing politicians to dictate the pace as far as our food system is concerned, I'm not a prophet of doom. If we don't do something differently in the next few years, whatever we are having, whatever food produce, whether it's for consumption or raw material, we will end up importing everything. I'm saying this, but we won't sit down to let this happen. That is why Kingdom Economic Forum, like I've told you always, we don't complain. We give alternate situation. The reason I have said what the statement I've made was that all of them are using the same method. All the politicians are using the same method. And that is why we keep on going down and down. All that they change is wording. This one will say planning for food and job. The next person is adding, I don't know the name they've given to this one. No, yes, apart from Nkukon, they have feed nation, whatever. There's a policy. You know, planning for food and job was a policy. This government came in, they have just change the name. And the same wrong mindset of some of the politicians, as far as the agri sector is concerned, they are there. Some of them, I'm not afraid, I would say, some of them are there just for the money. They don't care about the farmers, they don't care about whatever. They are just talking. We will not sit down for this to come to us as a nation. There's a saying that if you keep silent, it means that you are part of those who are creating the problem. They won't keep silent. And what we do, we have to speak out. For some of us now, we are chiefs, so we need to tell the truth so that the nation and the people will not suffer. I'm not angry, I'm just making a statement. Just that today, I have my junior brother here who is agribusiness expert. I want us to have some discussions. Today will be the general discussion on the environment, the difference between farming and then agribusiness, agripreneur. There's so many terms that are coming out, and unfortunately we are not seeing what we are seeing. So on the studio is Dr. Thomas Sechere Akua. Look, you're welcome.
Thank you. Nana.
This is Kingdom Economic Forum.
Thank you.
With a quick one, you did agric at Pokora School, yes. Agric at UCC, and then what else? Agri-economics
at
KUST.
Then went back to UCC.
UCC for your PhD?
For my PhD in animal science, but I specialize in management of livestock enterprise.
Oh.
Which is also an agribusiness.
That's yes. A point. So for you, you have been in the space. You know, I also did agric. I did agric at the secondary and the university. When I was doing my master's, I said, no, the agric. What I didn't like about agric in all those years was the botanical name. I remember I told one of the lecturers, why should I learn botanical name? It's a reference stuff. Why should I put this? My head is too small to be learning something. He was laughing. But it's interesting. So maybe let's look at the agri space. How do you see the agri space?
A lot of things has happened, and a lot of things are still happening. If you go back to even the memory lane, what we learn in JSS.
The problems of agriculture, for just a quick laugh. a friend of mine, he also did agri. So he sat down and said, Nana, when we were in JHSS, they told us the problems of agriculture.
Yeah.
When we went to secondary school, the same problem came. At the university, the same problem. So what is happening?
And now the same problem. Are still happening.
Hey.
So then that means that there is.
There's a problem.
Yes, it's a big problem. But the good news is that there are the current generation who are seeing value in agri.
Very true.
And a lot of the young, educated guys are getting into the agri sector.
Space, yeah, you're right.
Yes, and that is when that aspect of agri business, and they are not taking the farming or the agri as our parents used to take it. Now they are,
as a culture. But now they're looking at
life. Now they are looking at the monetary aspect and economic value of what they are doing.
Wow.
But even though the space, it doesn't give a good picture. But in future, if what has started or what is happening now, if you are able to sustain it, I believe that something good will come out of it.
My worry was that, government keeps on supporting smallholder farmers over the last many years.
Yes.
And those support, whether we are seeing the benefit or not, my argument has been that what has been the support for the up and coming entrepreneurs who are, like you rightly mentioned, and venturing into agriculture, which is the future. Because if we continue to allow these subsistence farmers to continue to use the same method, then your guess is mine.
Yeah.
That we will be important.
There is a saying that always bad news sells.
Yeah, true.
And within the space, I've also realized that the smallholder farmers story sells.
True.
So that is what everybody, and it's not only government.
Yeah.
Go to the NGOs, the multinational.
Multinational, that's what they listen. The reason that they don't want you to develop, that's a simple truth. They know that when they give the money for projects, I've handled I've been part of donor-funded projects.
Yes.
World Bank,
Yeah.
African Development Bank, EU projects. Thomas, at the end of the projects, in fact, for me, I have handled over, if I combine my life on projects, about $1 billion donor-funded project.
Yes.
In Ghana, for my short time,
Yeah.
over $1 billion project. And then I asked myself, what did we achieve? Because always, like you rightly mentioned, when you are designing the project, you have to make it sound like we are poor.
Yes.
So that the people will then, let's help them.
There is a need.
There's a need.
So let's tackle the need.
Anyway.
So if we look at it from the smallholder farmers and we go to the commercial side, that gap will not be there. So let's always keep that gap small. Because why is it that when the multinationals are coming, I won't mention names, the big ones, they go straight into commercial. But they encourage us to do smallholder.
And that is why the politician must set up. Because Ghana is so blessed that when we begin to do this commercial one, they will lose out.
Yes.
Because the cost of production in Ghana is cheaper than cost of production in Europe and America. Because the soil is good. The input that they use per acre, fine, they end up getting a lot of output. If you are getting the right seeds and all the environment, everything is correct. We are here to tell you that our production costs will be very competitive.
Exactly.
Without any subsidy.
Exactly. I do remember, this is also back the memory lane. During secondary school days, vacation, I was assisting my sister in her farm. And World Bank, if you remember that story, is it Tyson Food in the US wanted to work with Daco Farms.
Yeah, I remember.
That Daco Farms was supposed to supply broilers.
Broilers, yeah.
Yes. So how do they do the model? The Dako Farms was the main
Outgrower.
outgrower.
And I said, okay, nucleus farmer.
Yes.
He was a nucleus farmer.
Yes. Then they got outgrowers.
Outgrowers, yeah.
So we go and pick the best from Dako Farms.
Yeah.
Once
It gets to the, yeah. He buys back.
They buy it back and off it goes.
Yeah. What happened?
Management issues, other things. Unfortunately, I don't know other political issues, so that project was not sustained. So that is somehow the models it can work, combining both the commercial and the smallholder.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true. That's true.
So if you take a district, maybe if you know one good
Commercial farmer.
commercial farmer,
Resource that commercial farmer.
let him or her contact the smallholder farmers, teach them the best methods, how. Then he will go and pick everything. We are complaining of,
Market.
yes, but there are people who cannot even supply.
But I'm not even cutting you short. Normally, we do what we call emotional marketing. When they gather small volume, they say, oh, we can produce this. If you go and set up a factory, they can't feed the factory.
They can't.
So I like the idea you are bringing out. I think I have one of my companies, that's what we do.
Okay.
We believe in having the nucleus farm.
Yeah.
And then we have outgrowers.
Yeah.
In fact, within the outgrowers, we have introduced what we call agripreneurs.
Yeah.
The strategy is that those who have finished secondary school and universities, we cut out maybe 10 acres. You are managing that place. We take you through the process so that you produce to meet our specification. At the end of the day, we buy. As we speak, we've signed off with one of the churches. They have about 17,000 acres.
Wow.
That we're going to develop. We also sign off with Catholic Church in Kumasi. They have 18,000 acres.
Yeah.
That we're going to develop the same concept. So I'm just adding to the point that that is a concept
That is one good aspect when you are commercializing or you're focusing the business side of farming.
Sure.
How it can relate to unemployment.
Yeah, okay.
So you see, still linking up with the smallholder and commercial farming. If you are able to, the model that you just said, you catch up the 17 hectares into 1 hectare.
Yeah.
And if you are putting 1 graduate per hectare as your project work, and if you are able to manage it well, it becomes your job or what you are supposed to sustain you. That is how you develop that small habit. Then we move on. So if somebody or an SS graduate, a university graduate, started with this mindset, small entrepreneurship, and being coached by the commercial farmers, in their small way, 1 hectare is a smallholder. But the lessons that the commercial farmer will teach him, the standards that he will go through, because the commercial farmer has gone through his registered food and drugs board, the standard board. If he's even exporting, he needs to meet the European Union standard. The graduate will learn on the job, because if he's not producing up to standard, the commercial farmer will not allow him to go on with that practice. But if we leave it in the hands of the district chief executive, he gives it to
Party boys
boys
who are not farmers. They will go and sell the whether if you give them fertilizer, they will go and sell the fertilizer. Give them and kokonke ticket and it gets to party boys. They go and say. But coming back,
Yes.
Thomas, you see the example that you gave, like on this nuclear farmer grower scheme. Let me give you a typical example. In India,
Yeah.
if you have 1 hectare, you are a large-scale farm.
Look at this.
The reason is that 1 acre of a land in Ghana, if you want to plant mango, you can only plant maximum 60 trees. In India, there's a company that we represent called Jain Irrigation. They have experiment and they on their farm 1 acre, they do 650 trees.
So we are doing only 10%.
10%. We are doing
Only
only
10%.
10%. So, and it's one thing that is we're going to do it in Ghana here. But I'm just, when you mention 1 hectare, somebody might thought that it's a small land. But 1 hectare is a big, as far as an Indian is concerned, he's a large
a commercial
farmer.
Yes.
So it depends on what you are growing
Exactly.
on 1 hectare. And then the other stuff maybe we'll discuss. So let's come back. These are just initial, but I want to drill deeply on our cocoa.
Yeah.
Cocoa has been a blessing to us. And some of us from Ashanti Kingdom. In 1935, when the Ashantis got their independence from the British, when Nana came, they had their own what we call a kind of constitution. I was reading, and one major thing that was helping Ashanti was cocoa levy.
Oh, yeah.
Cocoa farmers were paying levy to the kingdom. And when you go to Ashanti region, most of the New Tafo, Krofum, Bantama, the structures were built by cocoa farmers.
Yes.
And I asked myself, what has changed? What has changed? And I know you've listened to the stories in terms of the world market and all those things. MPP blaming NDC, NDC blaming MPP. And the question is, what must we do? Why don't we allow the technocrats? Why should we allow the politicians to give us the narrative? When 2 elephants are fighting, the grass will suffer. The farmers are the ones suffering. Well, I want us, as private people, genuine people, practical people, how do you think we should handle our cocoa sector?
I will take it from this point that most of the time, if you are involved in a specific sector, there's no way you allow that sector to collapse. So I want to say, politicians are decision makers. Is there a way that they can also get into farming, into the cocoa farming? But when they are part of it, then they realize that what is happening, it is to their disadvantage. It is then that they will also make policies that will affect it. I learned this when we were organizing the All African Conference on Animal Agriculture.
Okay.
That was about 3 years ago. I was the coordinator for the event. Then when the Nigerians came, they said that, do you know why we've been able to ban poultry importation in Nigeria? He said, no. All the politicians are farmers.
All the politicians are farmers.
Obasanjo has the biggest poultry farm, if I'm right, in Nigeria. And those times too, he had the political power. But because he was also a farmer, when it comes to let's ban the importation, but one key thing that they did, they resource themselves.
Yeah, you got to do that.
They resource themselves. So what I would say, we can blame them, but is there a way that they can also participate? That when they are part of it, and they have also invested in it, there is no way they will allow it to go down. And I remember one politician was saying he tried farming, and there's no way he will go into farming again. What happens there? That means that you've learned something. If that lesson, you try to solve that specific problem, all the farmers in Ghana
will be happy.
Yes. The problem of the cocoa, now with the producer price, we say we reduced it. Why? Because the world market is down.
We've been farming cocoa for almost 100 years plus. And my challenge is that all these years, by this time, we shouldn't have been sending raw cocoa beans out there. Who bewitched us? What is the problem? We need to, unless we identify the root cause, all the others will be a political talk. Nothing will change. So why couldn't have we achieved that 100 years cocoa and still, so Tetekwasi brought cocoa 18 whatever.
Yes.
Something. And we have over 100 years.
Yes, still doing that. It will still come to leadership and political will. There is a change in the narrative now.
You see, let me help you.
Okay.
It's important. Sometimes, the president says he has 50-acre cocoa farm.
Yeah.
So if technically, in fact, I know the president is into farming.
Yeah.
That one, I salute him on that. And Otufo is also into farming. I'm also into farming.
Yeah.
So, but the beautiful thing is that, and the thing that we have not really solved has to do with the role of the technocrats. When it comes to cocoa, we have cocoa board.
Yes.
Their role and their responsibility over the years.
Yes.
We need to then question their relevance. Do we still need cocoa board? This is a question. First question.
Yeah.
The other is, we have other crops. Let me give you rubber farmers. They don't have, when their product also is internationally traded. Last year, because of the dollar stuff, it changed. It affected them. But
Yes.
did you hear of rubber farmers fight?
No.
No.
Yes.
We have oil palm. Last year, dollar whatever, and the rainfall pattern affected rubber farmers, oil palm farmers. Did you hear them fighting?
No.
Because it has not been politicized.
Yes.
Cocoa board, I think that they need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Their relevance, they have to actually prove their inclusion. All the politicians, when they come, that is the easiest way of recruiting their cronies to create jobs for them. At whose expense?
Yes. When you ask the relevance, I would say, as a system person, I believe that it is very relevant.
Go ahead. Tell me.
But how the model is being run, that is where the challenge is.
Yeah.
The model, the cocoa board model, why is it that a new system or has copied that model and it's working? The gold board, they've copied, is almost like the cocoa board model. But why is it that it looks it's working for them?
In fact, don't even go there, because the gold board is too young to assess. If you use that one, we don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, we understand. But there is something that is working. That is why maybe they've picked it.
Good.
But the bureaucracies and the other things that is happening. Let me give you, when you go to cocoa board, the key things that they are doing. I went on attachment with the quality control unit. Yeah, just last year. And I was surprised the key role that they play. And I said, okay, that is why Ghana cocoa is rated #1 or the premium cocoa in the world. So then that means that there is something that we are doing that is good, that is working. We don't need to break it, but the challenges that are there. Have you seen the VIP parcel office at Circle? STC collapsed, but VIP is operating.
Yeah.
Let's check the structure. You see the number of managers on the cocoa board. Yes. So that is, and they said that they are reducing their
salary.
Yeah.
No, the problem is not even their salary, dog. Like you rightly mentioned, they are, maybe I might be wrong, I think they are overstaffed.
That is one key thing.
Number two, their bureaucratic system, in fact, the Farmers Association, there's a farming association, Cocoa Farmers Association that they've written.
Yeah.
In the law that established Cocoa Board,
Yeah.
PNDC law, it was stated that they have to put 10% down for farmers' welfare.
After the sales.
After the sales.
Yeah.
And the question is, the farmers are asking, Where is that money? They haven't implemented it over 20 years,
Yes.
30 years. So the question is, do they have the farmers' well-being at heart? Like you rightly mentioned that the quality control, whatever, all these things we do is to satisfy the white man. Else, when your cocoa gets there, they won't buy.
Yes.
See, but we haven't. Cocoa board has been there. They have not been able to say, okay, we've been exporting this volume.
Yes.
In the next 5 years, we want to reduce exportation to add value.
Yes.
If they had added value to the cocoa ever since this time, we wouldn't have been talking about cocoa being as issue. Let me give you the statistics. Cocoa farmers benefit for only 6% of the value chain. 6% of the entire value chain of cocoa. 6%. Then the question is, even out of the 6%, productivity of cocoa farm per acre or hectare, our cocoa farmers are the lowest. Meanwhile, we have Cocoa Research Institute. I'm not saying they haven't done anything, they have done well. But the point is that to which marking scheme that they have done well? Because 1 acre of cocoa farmer is getting about 150 kg.
Yes.
In other countries, others are getting almost a ton.
Yes.
So if we had improved on productivity of farmers at the farming level, I can guarantee you that when the price went down, the shock would not be so much as we are discussing.
Yes.
But the question I'm asking myself is that what has been the role of these scientists? I'm not saying they haven't done anything. No. I'm just asking. That over the years, all that Cocoa Board is interested in is procurement. Buying chemicals for farmers,
juice
sacks, and those things. Not because they love the farmers, because it's a cash cow for some people.
Yes.
We need to say it as it is. All the parties who we're not in this assembly. We are talking about the sector. We are digesting and trying to let you know what is happening. The researchers, their interest is that if government is buying anything for cocoa farm, it has to be tested by Cocoa Research Institute. And if you are bringing technology, the amount of money you have to pay for them to test it will even discourage you.
A lot of people.
So these are the problems we have. Meanwhile, Thomas, government did not support the farmer when he's planting his farms, the existing farms. Just of late, they went for loan to do the resuscitation when the cocoa swollen shoot. That's where government is giving farmers seedlings and that. But I'm saying that those who have established their farm, it's privately owned. So if you have privately owned farms and you have set up an institution to help, won't you be interested in the well-being of the farmers?
It's very key, but you see the point of accountability. And that is when you say the system, the Cocoa Board has been taken over by the politicians. If there was a system of accountability, and you were talking about the cocoa research, let's take it, if I'm a businessman, if I employ a manager I take you to Sunyani district, I monitor, I give you KPIs. Then I measure your performance based on that. So if a cocoa district manager is being measured on the performance of the cocoa farmers within his sector, and you know that if you don't perform, you lose your job, people will try and sit up.
Sure.
But here is the case, you are being employed by the superior.
Sure.
Who is the politician. If you satisfy his or her need, that is all. So now the farmers, the person who has been employed, is not accountable to the farmer.
Sure.
But he is accountable to the politician.
The politician.
Yes. So if Cocoa Board will survive, then it needs to be run as a private business.
That's it. It needs to be run as a
private business. And
as it is there, it's not sustainable.
No. And that is the political decision, even though we might say, how do you combine, it's not privatization, but how can Cocoa Board run as a private institution,
Sure.
even though it's a public institution? That is what our leaders or the politician needs to really look at it and let it go in that direction.
Let me read the communique that was issued by this cocoa farmers. It's called Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association, NACOFA.
Okay.
NACOFA. Cocoa farmers' welfare must be independent of Cocoa Board.
Yes.
This is what they are saying. The Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association expresses deep concern over what it considers the long-standing neglect and suppression of cocoa farmers' welfare by the Ghana Cocoa Board. NACOFA firmly maintains that Cocoa Board should not manage or control the welfare of cocoa farmers. Cocoa farmers are private entrepreneurs, not employees of Cocoa Board. And therefore, their welfare should not be treated as an internal administrative matter of the board. They continue to say farm inputs, including fertilizers and cocoa farmers' world scholarships, are mandatory provisions from our off-takers.
Yes.
And are not funded from the National Consolidated Fund or taxpayers' money. These entitlements must be treated as direct benefit due to farmers. Over the years, Cocoa Board has not demonstrated sufficient commitment toward establishing a sustainable welfare system for cocoa farmers. Farmers continue to operate without structured old age financial security, comprehensive health coverage, or adequate climate resilience support. NACOFA believes it is no longer acceptable for cocoa farmers to remain economically vulnerable despite their critical contribution to the national economy. And they continue to say that the establishment of a welfare scheme, including health and financial security components, is a legal obligation as envisaged under PNDC Law 81.
Yes.
As stipulated in Act 766. NACOFA further notes that Section 26 to 27 of PNDC Law 81 require the allocation of 10% of annual profits to a farmers' welfare fund.
Yes.
The continued failure to operationalize this provision has left many farmers without pensions, health care, or structured social protection, contrary to Article 37 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. So NACOFA therefore reiterates its demand for the immediate establishment and proper funding of an independent cocoa farmers welfare fund. The association also demands the prompt payment due to cocoa farmers for 2025-2026 cocoa season. Okay, so this is what, like I was mentioning, we have the laws.
Yes.
But I'm even surprised that we have such a law to put that 10%. Look, if we had done that over the past years, would we be talking about world market price affecting farmers now?
It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue.
Wouldn't?
Because if you have
10% profit
yes.
of cocoa,
and if even you invested 10%.
I think where you are, let's do a research and come up with a figure. The last maybe 20 years,
Yes.
if Cocoa Board had put these things and do the analysis, so that, because we believe in figures, when we
Yes.
do that, it will help. Maybe another critical issue, even within the cocoa sector. If from Cocoa Board you are listening to me, I'm speaking facts. The previous government did a research. No, I know a company who came to do a pilot project. Look, applying irrigation to cocoa farms.
Okay.
it will amaze you to know that it increased the yields 4 times. Just applying irrigation. Farmers who were hitherto getting 3 bags ended up getting 12 bags with the irrigation application. And the question is, what happened in its implementation? Later, when I did the investigation, they were saying, oh, the water source, the quality of the water source wasn't. And I asked myself, who told you that we don't have solutions to treat the water source?
Okay.
And we allow farmers. Me sitting, I have a cocoa farm, which I'm applying irrigation. My point is that how can we do this to ourselves as a nation? That the farmers who have hold us, we go for this syndicated loan, and then we come and it builds whatever the dollar whatever. But we are not so intentional in support. I want to get your talk on that. That the decision makers sometimes it's painful. Those who are making the decision really don't. I don't say they. Maybe.
I would say. Is it the level of selfishness as individuals?
That's where the problem is.
That translates into that affects the farmers.
I'm telling you, the level you've made a very important. If you are listening to us, some of our leaders, not just even the political leaders, even the technocrats, you become so much selfish that if we are not benefiting from the solution, we blocked it.
Yeah, we won't implement.
We won't implement it. We can't sit down for this to go on. This is not just affecting cocoa, but I know several sectors. The president might not even know. Those people he has appointed there, if they are not benefiting, I can tell on authority that there are solutions that if those over there had accepted, Ghana wouldn't have been where we are. But because of selfish into corruption, they want to have their stake. You have to come and pay something before they accept it. This cannot help us as a nation. Truth be told.
Yeah, and Nana, if you are within the sector, and mostly I operate within the private sector, have you realized that now most of the multinationals, they are setting offices here? Because the cocoa that we source to them, they realize that certain things that we needed the government to implement is not implemented. Now they set up their offices here. They get a cluster of their farmers who they buy from. They sponsor them and make them do the right. So now the private people are employing their own private extension officers. And when you go, traceability, they are able to trace their cocoa down there. And I'm saying all this just to say that Cocoa Board is very good. But if we can operate one as a business, I think it will work.
Yeah.
And secondly, if there is a way that the system will correct that selfishness issue, there in every society, even from the Stone Age, industrial age, when you learn, you change. So if time has come for us to review and to change the system, this is the time to do it.
Time has come for us to change the system. This is the opportunity, and I think that we need to do it apolitical. It's not about NDC, MPP. It's about cocoa farmers. And if you are listening to me, even under now we have what we call Tree Crop Development Authority. I want to advise that they should learn how Cocoa Board is not doing things right, so that for them to try to regulate the other tree crops, the farmers wouldn't come to the same level.
Exactly.
We should learn things that Cocoa Board did not get it right. I'm just advising Tree Crop Authority. The policies that we are churning out, we should look at the weaknesses in the Cocoa Board policy and mitigate it. But my advice to the Cocoa Board and all cocoa farmers, it's true that cocoa is international commodity. Therefore, our prices are determined by the international market. The president has given us assurance that we are going to process our own cocoa. Businessmen and women in the country, if the president is giving such a promise, we are not expecting that the government will then do those factories. It will not work. It's an opportunity for businessmen to take advantage of what government policy that is coming up in adding value to our cocoa. I have said that the cocoa farmers get only 6% of the value chain. The remaining 94% has been spread somewhere. But if we can increase the value of the cocoa farmers to at least even 12-15%, we wouldn't be talking about what the cocoa farmers are crying about. The effect of the reduction of their prices is so impactful because their productivity level is very low. Mr. President, let's go back. Maybe let's look at how we can give irrigation support to farmers. It's doable. I have, there's a company, maybe this is not an advert, but it's true. There's a company in India called Jain Irrigation. They are the second biggest irrigation company in the world. They have shown the way that this can be done. And I want to submit that let's look at increasing the productivity of the farmers. Something that we did not even discuss. Now the farmers have problems with labor. The major problem in cocoa farming areas are labor. Most of these youth are going for galamsey. Yes. They pay them very well. So now that the produce buying, the value has decreased, we didn't look at the input. But I'm also proposing that if prices are going down, then input costs must also go down. The cost of fertilizer for the farmer, the input cost, the labor cost, the chemicals that they use, because the dollar has come down, it has to be reflected in the cocoa production. If you're able to manage the input, where the farmers can have maybe about 50% reduction of the input, then it will mitigate the output, shortfall, the shortfall in the money that they are getting. My proposal to Cocoa Board is about time to do open surgery. The blame game is over. Yeah. Let's call for a consultative assembly. Let's get people, individuals, professionals, farmers, sit down. Let's remove the political cap. Yeah. Let's sit down as a nation. Opinion leaders, the leaders of the church, let us all come together and see what can be done. If we keep on blaming one another, I'm saying in my opening remarks, a time will come. If you allow the politicians to blame one MBP, NDC, this, the nation will suffer. This is Kingdom Economic Forum. Farmers, we want you to hope is coming. Let's keep on. Don't take long-term decision because of short-term displeasure. Yeah. So that's my advice for you. Don't take long. Some of them were threatening to cut down their cocoa trees for galamsey. No, let me help you. You see, if you sell your land for galamsey, you get the money. But it won't take you more than 3 months. But if they destroy your land, it will take you 300 years for the land to come back. Don't live for yourself. Think about the next generation. I agree that the condition is unbearable, but it's a phase of life. Don't take permanent decision based on temporary displeasure. On this note, we just wanted to also make some comments on this cocoa saga, but our advice to the policymakers: the political rhetoric is over. Let us sit down. If you invite some of us, we can give our input. Let us sit down and let's make Ghana first. At least for cocoa sector, let us make it Ghana first. Yes. And cocoa has supported. The farmers have done a lot of good work. Let us give them their due, and we believe that we see a new tomorrow. Doctor, Nana, thank you very much for coming. Please visit our YouTube and Facebook, Kingdom Economic Forum. Until we come your witness, bye-bye. Bye-bye.